Could the Los Angeles Rams' entire 2026 championship window be resting on a single king at a total disaster before the season even hits its stride? There is a massive, high-stakes move being whispered behind closed doors that could either save our offensive line or signal a total surrender of the blind side. You are not going to believe the name they are circling, and honestly, it might be the only way to keep Matthew Stafford upright. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The Los Angeles Rams are officially standing at a crossroads. The off-season dust has settled, OTA sessions are in the rearview mirror, and the coaching staff is staring down a depth chart that has more holes than a piece of Swiss cheese. History tells us that this specific window is exactly when this front office pulls off miracles. Think back to the impact of guys like DeMarcus Robinson or Ahkello Witherspoon. Those weren't flashy, record-breaking signings on day one of free agency, but they were the glue that held the unit together. Right now, the team is scrambling. We have two glaring red flags that are keeping the entire front office up at night. First, there is the WR3 dilemma, a position that currently lacks the juice we need for a high-powered offense. But let's be real, that's not the fire that needs extinguishing first. The real nightmare, the one that could derail the entire season, is the absolute instability at left tackle. Everything changed the moment reports dropped regarding Alaric Jackson. With the potential for a league-mandated suspension hanging over his head like a dark cloud due to personal conduct policy issues, the Rams are staring at a massive, gaping void on the blind side. You cannot expect a championship-caliber team to head into a brutal NFL schedule without a solidified anchor protecting the quarterback's back. This brings us to the elephant in the room. Are we really going to trust an unproven backup, or is the team about to pull the trigger on a move that would shock the league? Keep listening, because the specific veteran the team is eyeing has a history with Stafford that runs deeper than most people realize. The name echoing through the halls of the facility is Stafford-Decker. Yes, the longtime Detroit Lions stalwart. He's a veteran with 10 years of battle-tested experience in the trenches. If the Rams decide that Alaric Jackson's situation is too risky to bet on, Decker is quite literally the only proven, starter-ready option left on the open market. This isn't a depth signing. This would be a move made with one goal in mind, winning a Super Bowl right now. But why Decker? Why now? It comes down to chemistry. Matthew Stafford and Stafford-Decker aren't just former teammates. They are brothers in arms. Their bond was forged in the fire of Detroit for years. In fact, when the trade happened that brought Stafford to the Sunshine State, he reached out to almost no one, but he made sure to keep in contact with Decker. That kind of professional chemistry is something you cannot manufacture in a training camp drill. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Rams should blow their remaining cap space to bring in a veteran like Decker, or is the risk of his recent performance decline too high? Who's to blame if the O-line falls apart this season? Drop a name in the comments below. But here is where things get truly complicated. While the idea of a reunion sounds like a fairy tale, the financial reality is a cold splash of water to the face. The Rams are currently operating with roughly $9 million in available cap space. That sounds like a decent amount, right? Wrong. In the world of NFL economics, that is tight. Especially when you consider that the market value for a tackle of Decker's caliber is hovering right around that $20 million mark. To make this deal happen, the front office wouldn't just have to write a check. They would have to perform major surgery on the roster. We are talking about restructuring contracts, moving money around, and potentially having some very awkward, high-stakes conversations with other high-profile players. Is the juice worth the squeeze? That is the billion-dollar question the team is asking itself every single day. And let's be honest about the player himself. Why did the Lions actually let him go? It wasn't because he forgot how to play football. It was a business decision. The Lions wanted him to take a pay cut, and the two sides couldn't come to an agreement. But there is more to the story. If you look at the advanced metrics from last season, there is a reason for concern. Decker recorded a pass-blocking grade of 69.5 last year. That is a noticeable dip, almost 10 points lower than where he was performing just 2 years prior. He also gave up 28 quarterback hurries. For a guy at his price point, those numbers are, frankly, a bit alarming. So, the question remains, was last year just a fluke caused by him playing through a nagging shoulder injury, or is he beginning a permanent downward slide? If the Rams sign him, They are betting that he's the same guy he was 3 years ago, not the guy who struggled with consistency last season. It's a massive gamble. But in the NFL, you either gamble to win, or you sit on your hands and watch your window of opportunity slam shut. Stay tuned, because the next few weeks are going to be defined by one thing: how the league office handles the Jackson situation. If that suspension comes down, the Rams won't have the luxury of sitting back and weighing their options. They will need to move, and they will need to move fast. The strategy right now is essentially Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is hoping ally like Taylor-Decker. Even if his numbers were a bit shaky last year, his brain is still elite. Think about the impact on the rest of the line. If you slide a veteran of that caliber into the starting rotation, it raises the floor for everyone else. It gives the younger guy someone to lean on. It provides a sense of protection. Isn't just about avoiding sacks, it's about his longevity. The Rams know that if Stafford gets hit too often, the whole season is a wash. The pressure is mounting. The fans want wins. The front office wants a trophy. And the cap space. That is just a hurdle to be jumped. We've seen this team get creative before. We've seen them trade away draft picks and manipulate the books to get the guys they want. If they believe Decker is the missing piece, don't be surprised if he's wearing Rams colors by the time training camp opens. But even if they don't go after Decker, you can bet your bottom dollar they aren't going to sit still. This roster needs work, and the front office is clearly in evaluation mode. Every snap during those OTAs was recorded, analyzed, and broken down. Every player is currently on notice. The culture here is built on competition, and the message from the top is clear. If you aren't helping us win, we are going to find someone who is. It's easy for us on the outside to say just sign him, but the logistics are a nightmare. You have to fit his salary under a shrinking cap. You have to convince him that LA is the place to rejuvenate his career, and you have to make sure he's actually healthy enough to play at a high level. It's a masterclass in risk management. We are tracking this situation hourly. The moment there is an update on the league's ruling, you will hear it here first. If the dominoes fall the way many expect, the Rams are going to be one of the most aggressive teams in the league this summer. They aren't in a rebuilding phase. They are in a win-now window that won't stay open forever. The irony of this whole situation is that the Rams are essentially waiting on the NFL's legal machine to dictate their roster needs. It's a frustrating position to be in, but it's the reality of the modern NFL. You are only as strong as your weakest link, and right now, the left tackle spot is under a microscope. So what is the bottom line? The Rams have a choice. They can stay the course, trust their current depth, and hope for the best, knowing that it could end in disaster. Or they can be bold. They can embrace the chaos, restructure the finances, and bring in a veteran like Decker to solidify the line once and for all. It's the kind of move that separates the good teams from the great ones. It's the kind of move that defines a season. And honestly, knowing how this front office operates, I wouldn't bet against them making a splash. But keep your eyes peeled. There are always other names, other options, and other strategies being discussed in the dark corners of the league offices. Could there be a surprise trade? Could someone else be cut loose by another team? The beauty of the offseason is that anything can happen at any moment. As we inch closer to training camp, the temperature is rising. The tension is palpable. The players are training, the coaches are game planning, and the front office is doing the math. It's a delicate dance of talent, money, and timing. Is this the year the Rams reclaim the throne? It all starts with the trenches. If we can't protect the quarterback, nothing else matters. The WR3 position can be filled by committee, the defensive secondary can be adjusted, but the offensive line is the bedrock. It's the foundation. And if that foundation is shaky, the whole house of cards comes down. We are going to be watching every single move, every single report, and every single rumor. You don't want to miss what happens next. This is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable summers in recent franchise history. Are the Rams going to pull the trigger? Is Taylor-Decker the savior we've been waiting for? Or are we heading for a major disappointment? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. The front office is working harder than ever to make sure we are ready for whatever comes our way when the lights turn on in September. This isn't just about football, it's about legacies. It's about the drive to be the best, no matter the cost. And as the story continues to unfold, we will be here, breaking down every detail, every angle, and every possibility. Stick with us. The road to the championship is long, it's grueling, and it's filled with obstacles, but we are ready to tackle every single one of them. The journey is just beginning, and you're going to want a front row seat for every twist and turn. What's your gut feeling? Do you think we make the move? Do you think the cap space is a deal breaker? Let's keep this conversation going. The more we talk about it, the clearer the path forward becomes. And remember, in the NFL, things can change in the blink of an eye. One day you're looking at a roster hole. The next day you're signing a Pro Bowl caliber veteran. That's the thrill of the game. That's why we love this sport. Keep your notifications on, keep your eyes on the news, and most importantly, stay ready. Because when the announcement finally drops, you're going to want to be the first. Suspension, not a salary cap, and certainly not the doubt of the critics. We've got a massive stretch of summer ahead of us, and I promise you, it is going to be packed with intensity. Every interview, every practice clip, every insider report is a clue to the puzzle, and we are going to solve it together. Are we ready for the 2026 season? Based on the hustle we're seeing, I'd say we're just getting warmed up. The energy is high, the stakes are higher, and the team is hungry. Let's get to work.